Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I guess we'll start it over. Welcome to our last sales meeting of the year. We're thankful that you guys made it. Let's give a round of applause for staff and Aaron for making lunch today. That was awesome. The salad bar is always a big hit. We have a lot of things to cover, so we got to move along. First things first, thank you for making it to the holiday party. We had a great time. A lot of people really enjoyed it. People are still talking about it, but we're very grateful for Adrian's. They did an amazing job, amazing food, amazing service. We just loved hosting it there. It was a blast. So had a lot of fun. I want to welcome our newest member, Nicia Torres joined us. We're very thankful that she joined us, and we had a lot of people join us this year, so we're very thankful for that. And we're going to continue growing and expanding and just trying to do better every single day. Are you on the board? The listing board, that is. So in November, we did have 32 listings. We didn't get off the board to do 2 drawings, but at least we still have 1. So Mr. Tony, would you like to come on up and do the drawing and tell everyone what are they winning? And then also, you must be present to win.
We got such good feedback for Adrian's. It's a $100 gift card to Adrian.
All right.
That's a nice
Yeah.
Who is it?
Have to be present to win.
Yeah.
All right. Kamal.
Kamal Singh? Oh! Happens every time.
Deep Singh.
Really?
Wow.
He said he was gonna be here too. He lied. He's gonna be here too. Gotta be present to win.
Yeah.
All right. Joshua.
He's skiing.
Wow.
Opening day. Wow.
All right.
Got Josh all again. You had multiple listings.
All right. Joe Estes.
Still? Oh, gotta be present. Oh my goodness. Rich?
Rich.
Oh, he
no,
left.
He left.
Got an appointment.
Let's call him out and text him.
Alex Bones.
No, Alex won't say no.
And he's always complaining that I never pick him. All right. Here we go. No? No. Wow. It's scared.
Come on. It's gotta be it.
This is rigged. Christian Torres.
And you get a hat, a Kent North swag hat.
All right.
Catch. All right, good job. It pays to list. So next year, we're gonna continue the board. So every time, you get a listing, your name goes into the hat. If we get off the board, that's 2 drawings. So we're gonna keep it going. All right, quickly, this is our legal update. I hope you brought number 2 pencils. We have our final test of the year. You're gonna have to pay very, very close attention to Annie's instructions, and I will just give you the question of what she's really trying to find out here. The question is, when is the final day of the inspection done? When is the very, very, very last day? So pay close attention to her instructions. She says it kind of fast.
Hi, I'm Annie Fitzsimmons. I'm your Washington Realtors Legal Hotline lawyer. And this Friday video is a computation of time challenge. I'm going to give you a fact pattern, and then you should take as much time as you need to figure out the date answers to the questions that I pose. I'll come back and help you walk through the calendar and see if you got the answers correct. So here is the fact pattern, and this is based on a 2024 December calendar. The parties reach mutual acceptance on December 4th. And in 2024, December 4th is a Wednesday. The buyer has a 10-day inspection period. On the 10th day of buyer's inspection period, buyer claims the 5 additional days time period. On the final day of the 5 additional days time period, buyer delivers a request for concessions to seller. Seller uses all 3 of seller's days, and then on the final day delivers a response to buyer, a counteroffer to buyer. The question is, what is the date, the final day of buyer's inspection contingency? In other words, if buyer has not reached agreement with seller by 9 p.m. on this date, or terminated the purchase and sale agreement, then buyer's inspection contingency will be deemed waived. What is that date? That's the question. As you begin to think through the issues, let's review very quickly a few of the rules associated with the computation of time provision. Remember that all time periods counted on days cannot end on a weekend or holiday. If the final day of that time period falls on a weekend or holiday, the time period is automatically extended to the following business day. All time periods of 5 days or less include business days only. Time periods of 6 days or more include calendar days. But recall that even a time period that includes calendar days cannot end on a weekend or holiday. It automatically extends to the following business day. Okay, here's how you're going to get to the answer. Mutual acceptance is on Wednesday, December 4, 2024. That means that day number 1 of buyer's inspection contingency is Thursday, December 5. We're going to count 10 days on the calendar, and since 10 days is more than 5 days, we're going to count all calendar days in buyer's 10-day time period. So day number 1 is Thursday the 5th. Day number 2 is Friday the 6th. We're going to count Saturday and Sunday, and then all the rest of the days in the following week. Day number 10 is Saturday, December 14. But we know that buyer's inspection period cannot end on a weekend or holiday. So the final day of buyer's inspection period is not Saturday, December 14. It's actually Monday, December 16. So your calculation should have shown that buyer delivered to seller on Monday, December 16, a notice of additional inspections, giving buyer 5 more days in their inspection contingency. So buyer's 5-day time period includes business days only. Day number 1 of buyer's 5-day period is Tuesday, December 17. So we count 5 days, including the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and day number 5 lands on Saturday, December 21. Buyer's additional inspection time period cannot end on a weekend or holiday. So that means that buyer's 5-day period automatically extends to Monday, December 23rd. Our fact pattern said that on the final day of buyer's additional inspection time period, buyer delivered a request for concessions to seller. Based on the inspection contingency addendum, Form 35, seller has 3 days to respond to buyer's request for concessions. Seller's 3-day time period includes business days only, and day number 1 of that time period will be Tuesday, December 24th, because buyer's request for concessions was delivered on Monday. So day number 1 is Tuesday, December 24th. Day number 2 is
26.
Thursday, December 26th. We can't count December 25 because, of course, that's Christmas Day, a federal holiday. So day number 1 was Tuesday the 24th. Day number 2 is Thursday the 26th. And day number 3 is Friday the 27th. So seller delivers seller's counteroffer on Friday, December 27th. The question asked, when does buyer's inspection contingency end? When would be the date on which buyer would have to either terminate, reach agreement with seller, or have their inspection contingency deemed waived, not later than 9 p.m. on that date. So let's calculate that final date. Seller's counteroffer is delivered on Friday, December 27th. Buyer's reply to seller's counteroffer is due 3 days after seller delivers the counteroffer. 3 days is business days only. Day 1 is not Saturday, December 28th, because that's not a business day. It's not Sunday, December 29th, because that's not a business day. Day number 1 of buyer's reply period is Monday, December 30th. So day number 1 is Monday, December 30th. Day number 2 is Tuesday, December 31st. Day number 3 is not Wednesday, January 1st, because that is New Year's Day, a state and federal holiday. So buyer's inspection contingency ends with finality at 9 p.m. on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. I hope you got the right answer. If not, I hope you learned something. If you have questions on this or any other topic, please ask a question by visiting warealtor.org. Thank you for being a Washington Realtors member.
All right, so what answers did you get? Hopefully you got January 2nd. I know, like, some of you probably are looking like, what did you say? This is, the computation of time can get really confusing. I know as, managing brokers, Tony and I and Jim, that's probably one of the ones we constantly get questions about. Inspections and that. It's like, when's my inspection due? When's the deadline? Just do not forget, there's a lot of dates in there, that are going to be holidays. And, you got contracts coming up right now. If you're dealing with any contracts, pay really, really close attention. We've already dealt with 2 things like where people already have missed stuff and they waived it. So it's like, don't do that. Pay close attention. So hopefully y'all got that.
Bond expires and the rate's gone, and now you have to pay the extension.
Yeah, that too. Yvonne?
So with the inspection, she did it as though they used their whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But if the buyer, if you're the listing agent and the buyer has 10 days, but they submitted it to you in 5 days, then the clock start ticking for the seller on the 5th day. They don't have to wait until the 10th.
Well, commencing day. It would be the next following day. Yeah, it all depends on delivery. But she maxed out the time completely. But you can see no matter what, there could be issues with that depending on,
We had that.
when you're receiving it. So just pay close attention. This is the time of year where people kind of just relax, like, it's holiday times. And the next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, what was the date? What was the time? And they scramble and get to their contracts and then they're freaking out. So just please pay close attention. Do not forget, on your My Desk, there is important navigating forms and practice changes. That link, they've updated this a while back, but a lot of people keep questioning, like, where is this? It's right on that bar. You just click on the bar and it will show up in all of the different sections for new law, new legal requirements, working with buyers, working with sellers, and of course, buyer representation. And then Washington's buyers toolkits and Oregon buyer toolkits are all in there. So it's great information if you need any of that. With that, I'm going to hand things over to Mr. J. Lennox Scott, our chairman and CEO.
All right.
Thank you.
So great to see everyone. I always enjoy coming down, fantastic energy. So today I'm just going to help us head towards a wrap for this year, but really look into next year, the first quarter of next year, the first couple months of what our game plan is, what we're going to see in the marketplace for price increases, all that we're going to talk about here. So let's take a look real quick. I went over 2 slides there. Here we go. This is from Lawrence Yoon, our chief economist at NAR. 2023 was the low point for numbers of transactions. 24 was just barely above 23, but he's saying we're going to see a 10% increase in transactions in 25 and another 10% in 26, and that will bring us back to normalcy. The big high point was in 2021, which was at least 15% above a normal market because of 3% interest rates. But we're going to get back to normalcy, so it's all good news. The wave is coming our way, so let's catch the wave in the years ahead. In looking here for interest rates, the Fed fund rate, they were predicting more cuts than what I'm hearing are going to happen right now, but interest rates aren't going to come down as much. Lawrence says the federal deficit is the reason, the yearly deficits. Hopefully they can get some of those yearly deficits down to send a signal to world investors. They don't need as much of a premium they need to hedge against future inflation. So that's the one thing that could bring rates down, maybe in a year from now or so, and maybe into the upper 5s. But he's saying rates will be in the 6s. So should you buy now or wait until rates come down to 6.5? Why would you buy now? Price increases are going to be at least 8 to 10%. So on a $600,000 home, that's $50,000. If the rate comes down a half a point, that's $150 or something a month. Times 6 is $900 versus $50,000. Which are you going to do? You're going to go buy right today instead of waiting for rates to come down. That shouldn't even be a consideration. Normally, it's not a consideration. You figure out 950,000 or 50,000. Okay, here we go. This is our 10-year housing cycle. You've seen this before. It's in your packet, actually. We put in the 2025 housing forecast into your packet, and it has the 10-year housing cycle. Where 2022 was the adjustment year. That's when multiple offers disappeared, and that's when premium pricing came off. Multiple offers create premium pricing above market price of 10 to 15%. When multiple offers go away, there's no price support for premium pricing, and prices come back down. So that's what happened. We're going to be into premium pricing territory above list price right after the first year if we're not already started right now with multiple offers. Year 23 and 24, where the market solidified. And now that set the stage for 6 years of growth for price appreciation, and it follows the U.S. economy. This is the 6 years, 6 phases of the yearly housing cycle. You've seen this so many times. The high point for unsold is September. The low point is January 1st. We're going through the winter cleanup right now, where we get more homes going under contract than new listings coming on the market. So we're eating into the whatever unsold inventory is out there. We're eating into it. In the ultra luxury, they're coming off the market. They'll reposition in the spring. We know after the first year of the sales activity intensity goes up 2 levels of hotness right after the first year, and that's where you get price support. But in this market, we're going to get price appreciation. We're already at a frenzy market in the mid price ranges. It's going to go to extreme frenzy or uber frenzy after the first of the year. We come down 1 level of hotness in April, another level of hotness around July, and then we finish out the year. But it always goes up right after the first of the year, the intensity of the market, and that's what drives prices. We're in this multiple offer, I call it multiple offer everything market. You got to be buyer ready day one. I was talking to Aaron ahead of time. They've got some great programs that get your buyers buyer ready. We have the cash edge, or we have getting fully underwritten. If your buyers need financing, they better get one of the 2 programs, or they don't get a house. Flat out won't get a house unless they're all cash. You come in with the all cash offer, a cash edge, or fully underwritten, closed in 10 days type of deal. So there creates seller certainty to take your offer, so you can compete with the other offers out there. You still got to win on price and term, but you'll be able to compete. Otherwise, you won't. It's night and day situation. Okay, this is the 6 phases. I put a description to it. the 6 phases of the housing market, so you know what happens in each phase as far as intensity and all that. This is for Southeast King County when new resale listings come on the market. It's 7 years worth of data. Last year is the purple line. That's the low point of listings coming on. This year is the brown line. So you can see we're running ahead until we hit November with that power outage and then Thanksgiving the week after. Otherwise, we would have been ahead of November. And I'm sure we're going to hit that in December because I look at the week over week compared to a year ago, and we're running higher in listings compared to a year ago. This is the lead indicator to more sales activity. The reason why I call it a lead indicator, when you get, when buyers come on the market, 75% have a home to sell. So they put their home on the market before they buy in a lot of cases. So this is just a lead indicator. There's more buyers in the marketplace. We're going to have a phenomenal year next year. More transactions in high intensity in the market. So hold on, here we go into next year. The black line is normalcy. So even though we were above last year, we are still far away from normalcy until just recently at year end here. But we'll have to see where we come in next year. We should be above here. We'll get close to normalcy type of thing. But in year 2026, we should be at normalcy for number of listings on the market and transactions for that. This is for seller motivation in today's housing market. I did this because Portland and Spokane and Medford and Bend are not like Puget Sound. They're not like Southeast King County for intensity, much lower intensity. So they only get 40% of the homes going under contract the first month. 60% aren't going under contract. They're at price reduction and everything. So you have that in-person seller consultation at every month, after the first month. And are they a need to sell person or a want to sell person? Need to sell is job transfer, vacant home, estate, household formation change, that's divorce, financial reasons, or health. But want to sell is reposition locally. These people have equity, reposition locally, up or down, closer to family and friends. They move out of area, lifestyle and destination, or retirement. So if they're down here, they have equity in Portland. They got to compete with these people to get their home sold. So what do? You focus in on where they're going to. Get them focused in on houses in the area. If they're moving out of state, talk to the broker there to find out what's going on. Get them a home there, focus there, so they'll get motivated here to get their home sold. So we need to consult with them a little bit more and get them focused on where they're going in the marketplace. How many more minutes do I have? 10?
Oh, no.
Okay, you're looking at the clock already. Okay, I know that. Okay, this is for buyers. This is for buyers going under contract. Look how close we are getting to normalcy. We are above last year, but we're getting close to normalcy. Southeast King County for resale homes, for homes going under contract. Fantastic. There's no holdback in the market. We're good to go into 6s. Okay, this is when listings come on, it's the green line. The gold bars are when homes go under contract. The gray bar is the most recent month, so you can look back 7 years for November. You can see the transactions were here. The number of listings coming on the market were down here. We're eating into the unsold inventory. That's what that shows. It happens this way every year. I call it the equinox, the fall real estate equinox, where it flips to more transactions than homes. More homes going under contract than listings. And then we have the spring real estate equinox, where it flips to where there's more resale listings than homes going under contract. We start to build unsold inventory, and that starts in March for that. So just how it happens this way every year. This is why the intensity goes down. There's so many more listings coming on than homes going under contract. We build up unsold inventory, and then there's more listings that come on the next month. So the intensity comes down because there's dispersed buyer energy over more product available out there. But then it flips over in the wintertime, especially after the first year when buyers come out of the woodwork after the holidays. This is our sales activity intensity. I take a photo of this and have it at my desk or at my house. So every Saturday morning when I get it, I can look right at the chart and see where the intensity is. The higher intensity, the more price support and price appreciation there are. 3%, this would be in Portland, 30% going under contract the first month, we're at equilibrium. At 50%, we're at 5% appreciation, 65, we're at 8. Extreme frenzy, we're at 10% plus price appreciation. That's just a rule of thumb. There's no computerization to that. That's just my observation. Okay, this is the sales activity intensity. I know you can't read it all. I'm going to go through the nuances here. I'm going to get a red pen, copy this off and get a red pen and go over it with my clients for their price range within the geographical area. Because I know when there's changes. I know right after the first year, 4-week total, we were at 70s, 80s, 70s, but then on April 26th, we went down one level of hotness into the 60s. And then we went down another level of hotness right here on June 21. I'm going to draw a red line there because we're coming down levels of hotness. And then we stayed pretty steady on that. We're up into the 50s now, but the last 2 weeks, we're already back up to frenzy. I just add 20 points to the first week, and then that's the 4-week total. Might be 18, 22, I don't care. I'm giving you an approximation. We're already back into a frenzy market overall. But it's more intense in the mid-price ranges than the upper end. And we'll take a look at that here in a second. The other thing is I look at the first 2 weeks because there's a 2-week overlap. 39 and 42, here we're at 54 and 37. So definitely 10 to 15% more listings on the market this year than same 2 weeks a year ago for that. And it wasn't Thanksgiving week, which is good. So that's how I do it, but I just draw a line when you're going through so people can really see it. Put an arrow up intensity or down intensity for that. Let's go through a couple price ranges. Make it to where there's some listings. Okay, this is 500 to 750 resale, Southeast King County. 18 and 19, here we're at 18 and 13, so fewer listings right here. But we're already in the 60s, so we're at a surge market here. We're all 45 and 55 here at 20 points. We're already at extreme frenzy in this price range. We're not even to the first of the year yet. We're already at frenzy market. How am I going to win in a multiple offer situation? So talking to Aaron and John Hunter, our legal lunch next month is going to be on the legal side of winning in a multiple offer, the buyer advisory form, going through that, earnest money deposits, contingencies, all those things we're going to go over on the buyer rep side, but also the reverse angle for a seller broker, for the seller listing broker. How do I handle multiple offers and all those sorts of things. So we're in a multiple offer everything market from this point forward in Southeast King County going into next year. So we'll be at extreme frenzy. And if we hit 80% like we did last spring, going under contract the first 30 days, I call that uber frenzy. And then if we get into the 90s, which we do on occasion, I call that ultra frenzy. So I had to make up some new categories of how hot the market is because we go up 2 levels of hotness after the first of the year and we're already at frenzy. So I know we'll be at extreme, probably uber frenzy after the first of the year. And this is in the 500 to 750 range. Okay, in the 750 to $1 million, you can see we're right here in the 50s. The last 2 weeks, we are at 50 each week, 25 backing that up. So we're already at extreme frenzy. Right now, and we have 2 weeks left to go in that for that week. So that's how hot the market is. So there's so many more homes going under contract than we're eating up the unsold inventory. All the focus, triple the focus on each new listing. My buyers need to be fully underwritten or cash edge or all cash or they don't get a house. That's the message out today. 6 and 10, 10 and 7, so same number of listings. This is 1 to 1.5 million. Okay, there's just healthy at best. Almost at we're at healthy level of sales activity, but it really boosts up after the first of the year. I don't know what's going to happen in that price range right now. It seems like the wealth effect's in play. The stock market all-time high. People are going to start selling out. What I'm hearing on podcasts. Start selling out at some high, taking some money off the table, maybe rotating it into housing, some of the money, not all of it. But that could happen after as we head towards the end of year end or first of the year. So we'll have to see what's going to take place in this market. This is the 1.5 million and up. I would call that selective buyer activity, but doing a little bit better. That's not as many transactions. So this is where I got to find out, where are they moving to? Obviously, they have equity, but where are they moving to? And I got to talk to the broker in that town or wherever they're moving to, if they're moving outside of my market area, so I can consult them better. It's okay to buy and sell within same market timing. I tell that to people all the time, because you buy and sell in same market timing. There's some nuances, but that generally speaking, you're sitting with the same net seller asset equity, no matter what time you do it throughout the year, if you buy and sell within same market timing. But something to look at. Okay, that's this is by month. You can just see we're in the 50s right now, going under contract overall, all price ranges combined. In the beginning of the year, we were in the 70s. So again, up two levels of hotness. It drops down to 12% the next month. Yeah, we're just in this hot market, so homes are going to go under contract the first month, especially after the first of the year. Here's median home price. We got above $1 million again this year in 2024. We went back up above $1 million in King County for a median home price. It comes off every year. I always have to talk to the press because they always say, well, median prices come down. I said, well, it always comes down. It's a math formula. So it goes up in the spring because you have higher intensity. Intensity comes off one level in April, one level in July. So prices mellow out a little bit. So it always happens this way, but generally speaking, it keeps an upward trend. We'll see how that keeps going. Our housing update, we're up to 380,000+ we send out on your behalf every month. Who here has 100 more contacts getting a housing update? Okay, I don't see enough hands. Okay, I'm walking to the possibility 80% plus, but you know what I believe, 100% of us should at least have 100 or more, and I'm going to get into that here in a second. If you don't have 100, we're just not doing the transactions, generally speaking. There could be one exception out of every 50 people, but generally speaking, we're not going to make it. My close 20 isn't going to make it for this business. I've got to expand my influence. It starts with the database. Ninja says it, but Feeney, Bernice, what's it?
Tom Ferry.
Tom Ferry. They all say it. Database is the only way to go in this business. It's 80% of our business all generates from a database and then engagement. So if we're not going to do a database, good luck. That's kind of, am I speaking like Tom Ferry?
No.
Okay, I didn't mean to say that. Excuse me. Tom will say it on January 14th. Okay, we're at shortage already. We're at frenzy in a couple price points, and that was for October. But November, you can see where we're going. This is job growth, my number one indicator. We had a huge amount of Boeing job losses. That will make a rebound here, even though there were job losses that did take place. But this was doing really well. We were up 15,000 jobs, but it took some of the wind out of the sails the last couple of months. This is market snapshot and luxury market. We're good up to, in Southeast King County, up to 1.5 million. Then we got some inventory above that. Okay, this is our focus. You've heard this, win one more every month. So what are the activities I'm going to do to win one more transaction every month? And it's particularly listings, but also meeting buyers, because it all comes from business development activities. You know, all the education I do, that's just for me, for skill mastery, be professional, to be my best, fully express myself. That's education. Where the business comes down, and I'm just here to affirm and remind and inspire, is business development activities. What am I going to do? And you've all heard me say it, I'll say it again. What I choose to do and be is me. What I choose to do is this because I say so. That's all it takes. I choose to have a database of 100 and I choose to engage because that's where 80% of business comes from. I choose to do those things. So I'm going to have 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each just on my database and engagement with them, and I will double or triple my business. That's how it goes. 2 hours, two times a week. That's what it's going to take. So that's what we're up to. So this is purpose and passion. This is the time of year to go through renewal of spirit. I love this time of year. Reflection, what worked for me last year, what I choose to do this coming year, where to narrow your focus for greater results. Front load your success. That's where it comes into. Fully expression, all those things. And I'm going to go into just a sec here. Okay, so purpose. I got this out of Google. The reason for which something is done, created, or which something exists. Passion is strong or barely controllable emotions. So that's what I want, purpose and passion within our business. So what do you want to accomplish? And it comes in different forms. One is a business form. What I want to bring in valuable resources. I want to bring in resources using value in ways, and at the same time, emotions. I'm here to be a contribution to people. I love relationships. I love looking at houses. I'm so blessed. We are so blessed to be in this business for full expression, to be our best, to be a contribution, be involved with the community serve, everything. So I combine the two, because this over here, the emotion side, gives me extra purpose of my approach in business, living life as a contribution to people, with people, two-way reciprocity situation. So that comes in here. What's the positive outcome of what you want to accomplish this year? We know the top 20% of the industry. I got the number in Portland. It's if you do 7 or more transactions in Portland, you're in the top 20%. Here it might be 8, 9, probably 9. I'm guessing you're in the top 20%. I want everybody in our company to be in the top 20% of the industry. What is it going to take to hit 9 transactions? And I'm just guessing. We'll get you the number out, the set number out here. But that's where I want to be. That's a minimum. And then it's going from good to great, great to greatness. Where if I want to go from 10 up to 15 or up to 20, 25, 30, whatever I want to accomplish, it's making those incremental steps. These are the activities I'm going to do to go up to that next level. Okay, research, NAR. I think I showed this to you. 77% of our listings come from someone you already know. Either past client, which is a few people, somebody I happen to know their individual house, or referrals from the people I know. 50% of our business right now needs to come from referrals. If I want to get my business up to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 transactions, I need 50% from the people I know. But how do I get that business? The only way to get that business is to keep being present with them on a periodic basis throughout the year. And I'm not doing it to them, but I'm taking on responsibility to keep our relationship alive. I'm walking in joy. My joy is to be in relationships with others. I will give them resources in life and referrals to their business just like they do for me. This is reciprocity. It's not me doing it to them. It's about living life and being a contribution and walking in joy. So that's where we're going on. But that's the majority of our business. Now, 81% only contact one listing broker. Wow. How do I become one of the 81%? Can you believe it's that high? When in our industry, only 15% have a database or even engage with outside of their close 20 people. Only 15%, but it's still at 81%. It's just that those that are doing it get so many more listings. Because that's how buying and selling a home is a social experience. People talk out loud to their friends. And that's where we get referrals from if I'm present with them on a periodic basis throughout the year. And this is our number one strategy at John L. Scott, is supporting each of you for the database, but now over the last year or two, engagement. That's where the extra business comes from, is being present with somebody, me with them with me, for reciprocity. This is where business happens. The number one item. So of course, I'm going to narrow my focus to this is the number one item, and then other items I may do throughout the year for that. Or I need to be in an in-person situational activity where I meet people, like seller listing launch with early entry for the neighbors. I got to meet the neighbors. I know one's going to list their home within the next 2 or 3 months. 80% don't have a pre-selected broker. Did you know in research, 72% of people deal with the first competent person in front of them? If you do a situational activity, you will be the first competent person in front of them. And that's got to be at least 30, 40% of the listings out there have to be, but I have to do early entry for neighbors to be present with somebody. I got it. I'm meeting a few people that have buyers that are unrepresented as they come through, and I'll meet them and I'll have my program down for them. But I got to get more activities, and I'll talk more about that in a second. 87% would refer you to another broker, but 71% forget your name because you never put them in a database and never engaged after closing. 71% forget your name within a year. 60% forget within 6 months. They can't remember. That's not us at John O. Scott. We're flipping the 80-20 rule. 80% of us plus are going to have 100 in our database, heading towards 250, which is our average. But only 36% of us have over 100 in a database. I can't stand it. We've been working on this for 7 years. We're the #1 company in the nation supporting our brokers for generating more business. All you have to do is ask nationwide. I go all over the nation. I ask, well, do you have a database? And how many names are in the database? Are you supporting your broker? No, they have 10,000 names. We have 380,000. I can't handle it. Why we're not at 400,000? Why aren't we at 500,000? I don't get it. If this is the #1 place where 77% of business comes from, and our top brokers, we know it's 80-90% of their business for that. Okay, buyer research, 67%. They knew or referred to a buyer rep. Only 75% only interview one person. Fantastic, because you're the first competent person in front of them, either meeting them in person or getting referred to them. So that's how you get up to the 77%. 61% would refer you to another potential client. Fabulous. So after contingencies are removed, after the 1 month that Annie put out there, after the contingencies removed, ask for the referrals. Because they're going to be very euphoric. We're going to closing. People talk out loud. Oh, we're buying a home. We're buying a home, and then their friends say, "Oh, we're thinking about buying or selling." Then you get to ask for a referral. Oh, by the way, if any of your friends or family are thinking of moving, if they have any questions, please give me a call. I want to anchor friends. Give me a call. That's how I ask, and you put that on your documents or something like that. Or change the words around. I don't care. Chat it and see what they come up with. Okay, it's about being present with people. Being present, and then that's what generates business. Okay, this is a book I want everybody to read. So when Annie first started talking out, she was talking at 1.4 speed. That's how I listen to Audible books, at 1.4 speed. They go really fast that way. So get this book, listen to it. There's 2 books that will drive your business: Persuasion and Becoming a Category of One. Those 2 books, if you want to advance your business, take it to a new level for this next year, those 2 books I would read, because they're just going to affirm your already knowing, but you're going to go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Let me talk about persuasion for a second. Okay, so I came up with some persuasion items. There's persuasion, that's when you talk to somebody and persuade them to do something. But this is persuasion. This is setting up the conversation before you have the conversation. Setting up the presentation before you have the presentation. Yeah, everybody understand persuasion? There's a hyphen between the 2 words in this book. Okay, so here's a couple of them. Persuasion. Formal seller marketing presentation, the black box. If I walk in with the black box during my presentation and I'm up against somebody else, I win 2 out of every 10 presentations more than I would. 20% increase in win rate by walking in with the black box if I'm up against somebody else. Is that not impressive? Yeah. Because I have in here the seller guide, the market stats, items about me. All those items I have in this packet. Now, if I use this for a pre-listing packet before the presentation, I drop it off the day before, I get another 10% win rate. I win another 1 out of every 10 I'm up against somebody else. If I'm a new broker, of course I'm going to do this, because I'll be ahead of 75% of the brokers in the industry, and I can compete with any experienced broker who's just walking in winging it. Because I have the best marketing program in the nation. By far. That's persuasion. I'm setting up the conversation. So when you walk in with the black box, we've talked about this before, what they changes. They go, oh, they're a professional. I'm going to listen to them differently. I no longer see them as a commodity. I see them as a professional. Not only my win rate go up 20%, my value goes up at least 10% because they see me as a professional. That's what the value of this is. And the cost is $7 now, or you put your name and phone number in this inside, I think it's another buck or two after that. So it's very inexpensive. So you understand what persuasion means. I'm gonna go over just another 9 of these, so excuse me for taking some more time here.
All your time.
Okay, we have the next item, formal buyer consultation. I walk in with the black box. I got it. I'm the only one they're talking to because I happen to be the competent person at the moment. Your expertise and everything goes into that. I'm walking in the black box. This gives me an extra 10% in value. They listen to me differently, not this. I found the house. What are you worth? That's what they want to go to. I want them to look at these materials and see what my value is. We have the 13 steps of buying a home. Finding the house on the internet is just one of them. But I need to go over the presentation. And I'm going to drop this off ahead of time. And I got it. It's going to take you 25 minutes to go to their home and drop it off. If they're not home, you take a picture, text it to them, wrap it up for the weather, and then call them. Because you want them looking at the information the day before. And in here, we have the housing update. We have the 10-year, we have the forecast for next year. We have the intensity for their price range in the market area that they're looking at. We have the 6 phases, the yearly housing cycle. We have the buyer advisory, the 8 items of the purchase agreement that you're going to look out for that they're going to have to waive almost every item. And you want legal protection for yourself, or at least get in the framework of legal protection by going over these so it's eyes wide open of what they're doing in regards to this. Hopefully the house has a partial inspection or a full inspection ahead of time to help you out. We have the buyer representation agreement. We go over all the items in there. That's why we designed this. It follows in alignment with the book. You use the multiple one or this one, whichever one works for you. But that's it. I'd have the black box. Are we getting it? I'm going to invest in my business. Every client, I'm going to invest $9. Okay, maybe the book costs another. How much does the book cost? No, that's for the book. The box costs $7. The book costs $6.
The box is 10.
Okay. Okay, so full. Okay, I'm going to invest $20. Let's say on every client.
Yeah.
What's your commission? Are you going to go into this? I'm going to save $20. Are you going to go into this? I'm walking in excellence. I'm a seller marketing specialist. I'm a buyer representation specialist. Of course, that's what we walk in. I walk in the positive outcome. $20 is nothing. I got $20 in my pocket. I think there's a song around that. I don't know. Okay, next item. Relationship database. Of course, I have 100. Okay, so they remember your name. You get 1 to 2 transactions. By sending out, for every 100 housing updates you send out, you get 1 to 2 transactions a year. Isn't that great to know? Because they actually remember your name and that you're in the business when it's time for them to take a look at it. Personal engagement activities. For every 100 you have, possibility of 5 transactions by doing engagement. The number one that we're focused on is happy home anniversary. Now, for those new in the industry, adopt your VIP clients for housing annual home valuation. You know what their anniversary is when they bought the home. You find out what that is. You do a housing market update, and you just say, I respect you, I appreciate you, and I know this was your anniversary when you bought the home. I thought this is information you would enjoy. And you put it in a black box the first time you take it over to their house. You don't send it. They won't even see it. You take it over because you want the possibility of engagement, but they know you came over. Take the photo, text it to them, and then call them afterwards. You will only get repeat. You only get their business and referral business forever. Happy home anniversary, and then contact. Card and contact. And maybe you do the home evaluation at that time. Maybe you drop off a plant or anything that you want to do, but you drop it off. That's what elevates you a whole nother level of being present. And that sets the stage for the other 5 contacts you're going to have throughout the year. And we're making these simple. Savannah's running this program. We're giving them to you of here's something to talk about and to be engaged with them those times. And whatever's right between you and that individual client. You have your VIP list. Of course you do that. You have did you have a food drive? Okay, for food drive, I drop off a bag at my VIP. So if I have 100 people, I have 10 VIPs, I drop off the bag. And then I go pick it up the next day. I put it on the note. I'll be by tomorrow if you have a chance to pick it up. They either do or they don't, or drop it by the office. You know, that's it. I want to be present with people. That nothing about real estate. A lot of these items some are about real estate, some are not about real estate, but it's about being present with people and reciprocity. That's what we're going for in this. Okay, isn't that exciting? We only have 144,000 past buyers. A year ago, August, when we started, we had maybe 3% of our brokers sending a card. Nobody was calling. Now we're up to 35% sending a card and 15% calling. Where should we be? 100%, right? We would only double our business at John O. Scott if 100% of us sent a card and did a call. That's card is persuasion. It sets up the phone call for them accepting your call and being excited to talk to you. Now, let's say you haven't done anything in 5 years. All you do is you just say, I was just going through my files here at year end. I noticed it was your 5-year anniversary. Or I was in the neighborhood and it just reminded me that I helped you buy this home. And I just want to call and say happy send the card, happy home at 4th anniversary. Anything like that. But the persuasion sets the phone call up for their listening. It changes things into a very friendly call where you get referrals. I gotta get 50% of my business from referrals. If I don't do a happy anniversary, I'm not going to do anything else. I don't get any business. Where are we going to go? Right? Happy home anniversary for sure, or adopt somebody within your database. At least your VIPs out there. Okay, we have monthly market update video. Do you have a video room? Yeah. Okay, you got a video room here. You will only get 1 or 2 transactions a year if you do monthly market update video. You get 2 transactions a year. All right, is this going to be the year you're going to do it? Now, I had to learn how to do it. It took me 3 minutes. I pressed the record button. After 10 seconds, I didn't like it. I pushed restart. 15 seconds, I pushed restart. Good to go. It's a half a minute or a minute video. That's it. They already know who you are. They're excited. They want to hear your voice. You know the power of voice over anything written nowadays. Does anybody here ever read anything? No. We're listening or we're watching a video. That's where we're in person. That's where we're hearing it. It's not from a piece of paper. Now that's good counter marketing because people don't send mailings anymore. That's why they get your home anniversary card. So that's counter marketing that works in today's market. But this is just one of those things. I would do this in 2 seconds, send it to your database, put it up on your social media, and do a boost ad. You will become a real estate influencer because this is the beginning phase of becoming a real estate influencer with the people you know. Like that. Okay, just a couple more. In-person engagement activities. Okay, so 30% of our business, I'm getting ahead of myself, comes from in-person situational activities, such as belonging to a service club. There's service clubs, business referral networks, online lead generation, things like that. And also geographical, if you get involved with those groups, you could be upwards of 2-3 transactions a year. I belong to a group of 12 CEOs in a mastermind group. We meet monthly for 3 hours each month. I get 2 referrals a year. Just out of 12 people. But I got to know them. Isn't that incredible? So if I belong to a service group, I'm going to get to know 20 people in the service group pretty well because I'll sit in the same area and get to know people or all those sort of things. They're all mixed up. I do that on occasion. I wear my name badge when I go to Rotary. They know who I am, but this is an invitation. You can talk to me about real estate, and they all do. They can't help themselves because I have my name badge on for that. Okay, then we have geographical farming, probably 5+, you work your way up to 5+ transactions. We have market insights for the neighborhoods. I sign up everybody in my geographical farm on that instantly. I still talk to Chase. He's over at First American Title. Is that right?
Endpoint.
Endpoint.
which is a subsidiary
Yes,
of.
it is.
Okay, he's over at Endpoint. I would talk to him to get the contact information for everybody in the neighborhood and property data for those homes. Then we have the John L. Scott designations. You went through one of them already, the new buyer rep designation. We did these in year 2014. We have a federal trademark. John L. Scott owns the federal trademark on these designations. Certified buyer representation specialist, certified seller representation specialist. That will be out in January. Certified open house specialist. They're making us go through some hoops here. That will be out right after the first of the year. And then certified luxury marketing specialist. We own 3 of the 4 of those federal trademarks. That's worth 10% increase in value because you put them on the inside of your box. Your name, phone number, and the designations in there. It's on the booklets, on the inside cover of the booklets or on the back cover. You put them on your website, you put them up there, 10% increase in value because everybody's wondering what your expertise are and who you are. And that's a statement of who you are without even having to talk about it. They see you and not as a commodity. When you read the book, Becoming a Category 1, the objective is to get yourself out of being a commodity to be viewed as that professional of who you already are, because everybody's going to commoditize you, especially in today's world. They're going to commoditize you. Get out of there. Let's move forward on these items. Okay, I just did most of my presentation, and then we whip through 70-30, 70% from your database, 30% from in-person situational activities. You'll get these slides. You're 70% from your database, have 100 or more. Happy home anniversary, market update, home valuation. You either do it at home anniversary, property tax cycle. January 1st is valuation day. They send out the card in the summer for the 2026 taxes. So the 2025 property tax cycle starts on January 1st. I might do a valuation update on that. Because I get to talk to them about them, that January 1st of the day, when the card comes out, I get to call them, was it high, low? If you have any questions, I get to do that in the summer. So I get 2 engagements just from property tax cycle if I want to use it that way, or throughout the year. New Year housing forecast. How many have an investor? No, one of your clients is an investor. Get them in your database and call them. We send out the 2025 housing forecast. I got it that they don't want to sell. I'm fine with that. But do they want to buy another investment? They want the information. I send it to bank presidents, builders, family, friends. I send it to everybody. My mastermind group, I send it to everybody. And they all love it because they know me and they get it. And they're more likely to read it because they know me. That's how this works. Client appreciation events, stop bys, pies, pumpkin, poinsettias, calendars. I like tying in what Josh does on the charity regarding his stop by gifts for that. This is in November and December. We had Happy Holidays, Pie Day, Winter Client event, community service event, which is food drive, annual home valuation reports. The housing forecast came out in December. We'll send it out again in January. We have Happy New Year property tax cycle. Tax prep if they had a closing all year long. We have happy home anniversary, and then we'll have March, April, May, June, every 2 months of the yearly cycle. We'll have engagement activities with your database that you can choose to follow through on continual conversation, or where are you going to see your VIPs this year? Housing updates every month, stop bys, 1-minute market video, and 2 engagement activities. So that's where 70% of our listings come from right there. 30% come from seller listing launch with early entry, geographic farm, online leads, social media, service club, community service, arts community, referral network, place of faith, everyday local businesses. I don't wear my name tags at Place of Faith. Okay, friends and family. Enjoy hobby groups or sports teams, neighborhood groups, kids' schools, business influencers, attorneys and chambers, coffee, lunch, or dinner. Pick 2 or 3 of these and focus on them, even though you may end up doing all of them throughout the year, but focus on the 2 or 3 that you really enjoy. And I really want to get to know these people. We're doing good things, all those sorts of things. So pick 2 or 3 of them, but we need to do that. We're not engaged enough with set groups to be able to build that type of relationship, to be able to get referrals. I'll give them referrals. They give me referrals for that. I'm almost done. That's it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lennox.
I'm excited about next year.
I am too. I'm ready to run through a brick wall. Ready to go.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, with that, we'll bring up one of our trusted partners, Mr. Aaron Hafner, for the Mortgage Minute. Come on up. Your turn.
59 seconds, 58.
Go for it.
All right, here we are today. Oh, yeah. Oh, you took out the
Oh, yeah,
slides.
just the one.
Okay, got it. Okay. So yeah, so what we talked about last time, the upcoming events, we had the jobs report 2 weeks ago that had, we wanted jobs to go down. They came in about or a little bit more than what they wanted. We came up with 225,000 jobs, I think, as opposed to 195. The inflation numbers came on the 11th and it was pretty much kind of in line. The next one is on the 18th, if that's gonna meet, okay? They were gonna cut rates by a quarter point, all right? But everything's been baked into the interest rates and everything else, so we're not gonna see a huge change on that, right? So then, let's take a look at the 10-year treasury. The 10-year treasury is at 4.403 as of yesterday. You can see we hit the low point here, and it's just done the old up the mountain chain. Was it the oldie guy from Price is Right? Yeah, going up. So anyhow, yeah, but again, we're kind of where we were before. The trend is what it is, right? So I think from what I see and everything else, until it changes, we just deal with it, right? Because I don't know what's going to happen. But here we are, we're closer and closer to 7% on the 30-year fixed. Okay. So again, 6.93 jumbo stuff's right at 7. So that's just the environment that we're in. But we have all this pent up demand. It's going to happen. Who cares about the rate, right? That's what people are doing right now. They're just moving forward. So anyhow, so 6.93 last year, we're about 6.64. So you can see we're just in the high sixes. So then we had minimal trend in interest rates yesterday. The one thing I wanted to show you this about people, especially as we get together for the holiday and you talk to different people, I thought this was great. A look at the US housing market. We have a total of 136 million households, and out of 45 million are rented, okay? There's no equity in that because you're renting. But 91 million are owned with $37 trillion in equity.
Wow.
About 407,000 per house, okay? Free and clear is 35 million. So you have about 20 trillion in equity with the average person with the house in this across the country of 571 in equity of no mortgage. Okay? And if you mortgage, there's 56 million of them, 17.3 trillion with 311,000 in equity. So basically, if you own a house, pretty much, you're going to have 311,000 if you own it for a period of time. So if people are waiting on the fence, and like you talked about this backlog of buyers, they're seeing this, and this is what's going to happen. Of course, there's 1.3 trillion in negative equity. So I thought that was very interesting. The other one too is this rent, the net worth. If you were just a renter and you bought in 2019, your net worth is say 7,300. If this is the only investment that you have for the house, versus the person who bought the house, they've got 295,000 in net worth. Okay, and do you see just the trend up over 2024? You're better off than renting. So I think those two slides together really show the illustration about why buying and being invested is a great time. Okay, it keeps going up. And then, do you guys know what these numbers are? 766, 500.
Median price of home in King County.
Nope.
This is the conforming loan limit across the country. 766, 500. No matter where you go, that is the 2023 or 2024 limit. You know what this number is?
King County.
King County.
Correct. 977, 500.
Wow.
It's Keene, Snohomish, and Pierce. This is what just was last year. Anything above this becomes a jumbo loan, which requires maybe more underwriting prior to guidelines. But the new limits came out, and so now across the country, 806, 500. When I started, I'm showing my age. When I started, it was like 300,000. Okay, so this the cool part is that you can do a 0% down up to 3% down up to this level. Okay, the downside is you got to have the income, right? So that's the thing. Now, if they were increasing income limits that way, it'd be great. So now take a look in King County.
Wow.
1,037,000. Okay, that's King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties. Any other county, it's 806. Okay, so I could do 5% down. So if Lennox is talking about how price appreciation is going to happen, how do I combat that? How do I make these offers and still be protected? Well, I can go as low as 5% down. So if I want to do a 10% down purchase up to this, and the appraisal comes in low, well, I can just do 5% down and make up the difference that I was gonna pay at the 10%, okay? So this really helps. Now, the interest rates on this are a little different. They're higher than the 806. But depending on what jumbo is and everything else, but the jumbo loan limits are higher, but you can't do 5% down. So this is great for someone who's got money and no cash, okay? No reserve requirements, no nothing. This is easy peasy, slam dunk city, okay? You go to that. Then we have a refine 5. Eventually we'll use that. That's right, it's come down. And then here's the slide. You're gonna have this in your packet. But Snohomish, it's Pierce, Snohomish, and King are at 1,037,000, and then the rest of the other counties are about 806. Okay? The one thing I did wanted to bring up is that we're at the end of the year, okay? And so you guys are all self-employed. If you've been in business for more than 5 years, most likely you can use a 1-year average of your income. So if you're thinking about buying.
Say that again.
So you normally, if you're less than 5 years, you have to have 2 years of tax returns, and they average. So if you went high to low, not great. If you went from low to high, that's good, but they'll average. If you've been in business for more than 5 years, typically you'll be able to use a 1-year tax return. So therefore, we don't see any trend. So if you're thinking about buying next year, you had a really good year this year, and you've been in business for more than 5 years, let's talk. Because I can show you, because if you're gonna put in your tax returns this year, you might want to take more income, pay the tax, but you have the income to qualify to purchase something else. Especially like investment property, think about doing that. Because you can do an investment, you can use rental income, proposed rental income, plus the 1-year tax return. We use 2 years, we see a trend, and that's the challenge. You have to be in business for more than 5 years, that's the guideline. So if you think about doing something next year or planning it, come talk to me before you file your tax. But I can tell you what you need. You don't need a profit loss or anything else. Just if you go past a couple months after tax season, they'll want to see the commission to make sure you're making some money. Okay?
It's smart.
Any questions on that?
Okay, real quick, I would just want to give a testimony. How long have we worked together?
2009.
2009, so that's 15 years.
Mhm.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
I just want to say, Aaron, your expertise, I want to give you my testimonial, my endorsement. I totally trust you. If I ever needed help on anything, I would call you on a personal basis also, just as I would help you. But with your demeanor, everything, you just help clients, support our brokers and helping them move forward. Priority Home Lending brought out so many fabulous programs, first in the market on so many items. And I just want to give you that endorsement and appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. All right, one quick question for you guys. What was the first lifesaver flavor?
Cherry.
What?
Peppermint. Wintermint.
Got it. Alec in the back with a win. Boom, peppermint.
Wow.
Well, it came out in 1920, right? So, yeah. Cherry.
No artificial flavors like that.
Right. If you have any questions, let me know, but thank you very much, and thank you, Lennox. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Last quick items, just upcoming events. Tomorrow, forms class right here. We're doing 22B. This is how we keep us sharp in the industry compared to others. And then also, our 2025 kickoff meeting is going to be on Tuesday, January 14th. From 10 to 11:30, it's gonna be at the Renton Carco Theater. You know where that's at? We're doing that jointly with Renton. We're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of giveaways. Talking about a taco truck outside for lunch after. So we're gonna get more information to you guys soon. And then last thing, we do have the Stand Out with Authentic Marketing with Jeremy Poole. He's gonna be doing a video marketing panel, networking. We're gonna have a happy hour afterwards. This will be a big event right here, which is gonna be on the 23rd from 2 to 5. All right, and with that, our last quote of the year for the month is, "A new year is like a blank book and the pen is in your hands. It is your chance to write a beautiful story for yourself."
All right.
Thank you guys for making it. We really appreciate you all. Thank you. Wait, uh-oh. Somebody's birthday's in the room, huh? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And you're 39?
Yep.
Amazing, amazing. All right, that is it. Thank you guys. Get some cake, get some dessert. Oh. I know, he was like, what is happening right now?
Thank you.